I got a song filled with shit for the strong-willed. When the world gives you a raw...
And there we go. Welcome everybody here, live on Connecting Esports. We are going to bring you one exciting game once in a time. It's going to be CE Mist versus Imports. It's going to be Group A once again, like yesterday, of the TG Diamond League. And it's the season number 5. And today I'm joined by the famous and very welcoming French voice of Sherlock.
Hello, I am le French voice.
The French voice?
I am the French voice.
Ah oui,
Will you
baguette.
please? Oh, please. Omelette du fromage.
Ah oui, ah oui. But yes, as we said, we have an important game coming up because it's Imports versus CE Mist. And I believe if we have a look at the standings, Sherlock, I do think you did your homework, but in case you did not, I'll also show it to you, because in Group A, we do see Imports here sitting at this tight spot in number 4 with 6 points. So if they should win today, they will be advancing to the 3rd spot. And of course, Invincibles are also playing today, I believe, or next week someday. So there's still a few games to be played, but this one is very important because it will be like CE Mist catching up with the rest of the group here, or Imports pulling further ahead and getting into this top 3 position. So very important game today.
Absolutely. This decider is definitely going to be pivotal for the state of the playoffs run, because, not gonna lie, right? There are a lot of teams at the top of the standings who are pretty stacked right now, and so these spots are even harder to fight for, as the very top of both groups are super unreachable for the middle table teams, and so these 3rd seed from each groups are so valuable for teams like Import, for teams like CE Mist, for example. And pulling further away from the bottom of the pack is, oh my, so important for, I believe this is the last week of playoffs, right? Before playoffs, right? Or is there another week after that?
I believe, since we have a few delays coming in TG Platinum as well as in the TG Diamond League, it's holiday season, a lot of reschedules coming due to holiday season or extraordinary cases. We have some people, I don't know if it's corona, but it's medical issues and stuff like that. So there's definitely a few, extended, I would say, areas where we have to work around that. And then as soon as that is fixed, we will be going to playoffs. I believe it's next week starting with Platinum, and then after that it will be the Diamond playoffs. So 1 week and a half, I would say, and we are into the playoffs.
Let's go. So for now, we are not yet into the playoffs, but we are indeed having this series tonight. So the 2 teams that are facing off tonight are, as you said before, CE Mist on your left side and Imports on your right side, if I'm not mistaken. No, wait.
The other way
Imports
around.
Is the, yeah.
Imports on blue, and on the right side we will be having CE Mist.
Yeah. So right now you can see some of the names that some of you might already know of, for example, Keyladder or It Me Andy, who are household names of Connecting Esports.
Mm-hmm. And also we did see them on stream yesterday after having a glorious 2-1 series against... I forgot. Who did they play yesterday? I actually forgot. Wait.
I can't help you with that one, though.
I'm gonna go look, but they did win. Why do I not remember? That was yesterday. I was here. Like, hello. My brain sometimes.
Hello, Jason Brain.
Yeah. I'll have it in a second. Just give me 1 second. Yesterday.
Question
Versus
mark?
Team Nameless. There we go. Nameless. Imports versus Nameless. They won 2-1. They had an exciting game. Even saw the Riven coming through in the end. And game number 3, where it was serious, was tight. So Keyladder pulling out his one trick. Yeah.
Keyladder's performance was actually completely bonkers on that Riven.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up like 5-0-3 or something. That was quite insane.
Yeah. Also, there was a Baron play where there was the Baron at exactly 1 HP, getting taken by the AD carry of Imports in the last second because of a missed smite. And yeah, some people playing off-wall, some people having fun with very weird champion picks. But yeah, in the end, we are ready for the virtual draft, so just letting the teams know. And then we can have a look at what today's game is going to bring us.
And as the teams are already checking the Reddit shake right now, Imports, I really wonder what they are going to be pulling off today, because they have been taking a bite at everything that's currently meta in the game, be it stuff like a hyper carry and an ardent sensor support like Lulu, for example. They have been doing a couple of like Kog'Maw Lulu, Kog'Maw Aphelios, Lulu Aphelios, sorry. They have been playing some Grasp of the Undying Senna. They have been running things in the top lane like the Wukong, the Malphite, the Riven, for example. So it's really not a team that is encased into a single playstyle. Rather, it's a team that likes to mess around with the way they see the game and the way they understand the game. So I'm really excited to see what they are going to be bringing on the table today, as they tend to be very creative with those drafts.
And I have a personal matter here. Like, my issue is going to be, who do I root for today? Like, yes, it's Connecting Esports, one of their teams here. And, well, I don't want to be like, oh my god, it's Connecting Esports team, I have to cheer for them. But then again, I also know some of those people, like maybe not all the players, but I do know like the management and the coaches and stuff like this. So there's like involvement from our side. And then to filled with a lot of friends of mine. I mean, Killad and Andy, really great fans of mine. Outside of Connecting Esports even, and then also I do know Band, for example, the AD carry for a long time. So yeah, they've been with us for plenty of seasons. I think they are as long here as you are, Mr. Sherlock. So definitely go way, way back to the good old times.
Yeah, I remember. I remember casting some of my first games with you, and Keyladder was playing on the screen. So it's really, some names are really bringing back some very old memories, like a year and a half ago or something. So this is, as you said, right, a real battle of hearts between these two teams and who we are gonna root for, because caster bias. But I think we can maybe split our supporting between
Sure.
the two of us.
Who do you choose?
I get to choose. Okay.
Yes, of course, always Sherlock.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna preserve your professional integrity and choose Imports. So you can choose Connecting Esports, but only because you are left with no choice. So somehow, your integrity is preserved.
I agree with that, and I can go with that. So I do believe, hopefully, that today we will be having a good performance from CMS. They have not been looking too great in the games we have seen from them. Also one walkover coming through for them. So they're not in the best spot just yet when it comes to points, but I'm very, very certain that they have the capabilities of putting out a good gameplay. And, well, yesterday we saw Imports putting out a good show, so we will have both today. Hopefully quality and, of course, entertainment.
All right, so now some of the first bans have started to come through. And as CMI's AD carry is a big Aphelios players, Impulse will ban right away the 200 years of game design and get that out of that game.
Yeah. So Aphelios here being banned away, and there comes the Draven as a response. Interesting choice.
Yeah, Draven is one of the main AD carries that imports his ADC, who is ironically enough named Band. Likes to play a lot in his team games, and he has been putting up quite a show whenever he could get his hands on the champion. So I can assure you, if you have to go down that bot lane and face Band and his Draven, you are going to be getting scared.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Draven is one of these champions, either hit or miss, but if you hit, boy, oh god, is he strong when he's ahead. We have seen some crazy outplays, of course, under the name Tyler 1 and many others. But yeah, right now we do see the Shen of the board, which is as to be expected. Killada is, well, he turned from the Riven 1-twig into the Shen 1-twig, and his Shen is very feared across the Rift and the teams that he has faced. Therefore, Shen is a must-ban so far against Imports. And with the Echo of the Table, I believe that is a very smart choice as well. We do have seen, I believe it was Sirok and AD Shen here, the mid laners and the junglers of CMist, picking up that Echo in their solo queue games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you have to still take into account that Keyladder's Riven has nothing to envy to his own Shen, so you still have to be wary of that player, as he's one of the key player of that composition after all. And even whenever he's not entrusted with like the main carry position within his team, he still has some pretty big playmaking capacities entrusted to him. So whenever he plays stuff like, for example, the Shen, the Malphite, you can see that he still has a lot of engage capabilities on his shoulders, and that is because his teammates trust him very much. So you definitely have to pay attention to that top lane pick on the side of Imports. Now, Connecting Mist are really wondering what is there left to ban for them. Might be considering the Senna, which is one of the main picks of Imports this season.
Yeah. I'm actually going to try something new today. I'm going to try to get a poll off of the MVP. Like, let's see how that one works.
Ooh. As Jason is now looking into new technical features for the stream, Imports are locking in their first blind pick, which is the Ashe. And I do love that blind pick. Like, let's be honest, this might be one of the best blue one pick right now in the game, along maybe with Karma and Varus, as Ashe is so good at everything she does. She is a good lane bully, she is good at engaging, she has good utility, and she also has a lot of versatility in her kit and itemization. So you can also fit her in a wide variety of team composition, and you can also entrust her to be either the main carry of your team and make everyone's health bar melt in team fights, or just put her on like utility and slow duty and have her control the team fights a lot more than any other AD carry would be able to do. So very good pick here by Imports. Now, Connecting Esports are responding with an Olaf, who is most likely going to go to the jungle, which, you know, against as a response to an immobile AD carry is fairly good, I would say. Also considering that Olaf is like one of the best picks in jungle in a team environment at the moment. Kind of good for CMS to pick that one up.
Yeah, and the Thresh has been very, very strong yesterday. It was picked up in the first game between Imports and Team Nameless, and we have seen some incredible performances. But of course, with the Senna banging the way, there's not this rivalry between Thresh Senna, but there is, as I was about to say, there's the Taric that has very good synergy with an Ashe, for example, in lane, and makes you go for those important team fights, and that's exactly what Imports is already looking for, having those big team fights based around that cooldown of the Taric ultimate, which will make them invulnerable.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the slow from the Ashe makes it so much easier for the Taric to land his Dazzle. That's where the main synergy is coming from. And if you try to go into the Ashe, as you said, the Cosmic Blessing is coming down to prevent you from bursting them down. So really good choice here. And now Imports, they still have their jungler left to take. So I'm really wondering whether or not we will see a Kindred in the jungle for Imports, because this one, whenever you lock in the Taric, you're still, you know, left wondering what's gonna be coming in from the jungle position. Will it be maybe something like a Master Yi? Will it be a hyper carry? Or will it be something like a Kindred, for example, which has a huge synergy with the Cosmic Blessing? Now, Connecting Mist, you have to mention as well, we didn't talk about that at all, but the support from Connecting Mist likes to play these grabbing champions a lot. He plays a lot of Blitzcrank, a lot of Pike, and a lot of Thresh. And so that Thresh right here is not any Thresh. It's not going to be the Thresh that only lends, that is only here for the Lantern. It's going to be the Thresh that is going to be here for the YouTube highlights, baby.
I agree with that one. That's going to be one hell of a Thresh game if you've ever seen one. And the Pantheon now being picked up into that Galio, as you said, oh my god, is that a matchup I'm looking forward to?
Yeah, that Galio, I do believe is going to be going mid. You have a lot of flexibility in the pick alone, but as Olaf is already locked in jungle and Thresh is already locked in support, I really doubt that Pantheon is going to be going elsewhere than into the Galio. Now, Galio is is quite good against control mages, where he can just like clear the waves and hold the lane very effectively. And the thing is that Pantheon, not only does he have some potential of bullying that Galio, especially with the I think it's called the Aegis, Pantheon's E that blocks the damages.
Might be, but yeah, we know which ability you're talking about. The one
Yeah.
that basically
Anyway,
makes you
the
move vulnerable
shield
from one
block.
direction. Yeah.
So anyway, the shield block can negate a lot of the damages of the Galio, and then you also have like the Grand Skyfall that can match pretty well the hero's entrance of the Galio. So really good pick here, really good pick up here by CE Mist. Now, what I'm still worried of is that they still have to pick some magic damage under their belt, or else they're going to be lacking a lot of damage distribution.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly test for you boys in the Twitch chat if this will work. Apollo's open, MVP of the game. Use vote. Okay, that actually explains. I can change that. There you go, boys. If you guys want to vote now, just do it. It's not going to do anything. It's literally just a poll. I want to see if this works or not. And in the meantime, we will have a look at what they are going to ban next. So Syndra, Ezreal, as well as Jarvan, Wukong here off the table. So now into this into the second rotation of this virtual draft, we will be having CE Mist firstly going for something, as we have imports then. But it's not blue. Okay, everything works. Thank you, Key, for confirming that one. And Kaiser's being hovered right now. Not all too certain. It's actually going to be locked in, and I like this.
Okay.
The Kaiser gives you some ability, which is very crucial against the Taric stun in lane. It also gives you an outweight potential, as well as some shielding, some ability, as I said, and later on, of course, invisibility. A lot of damage, depending on how the build is going to be. And this Volibear, oh my god.
And what I really like as well is that this Kaiser is also bringing some of the magic damage that we were talking about, right? With her itemization choices, she can live up to the expectations as a magic damage dealer. But now the main thing that gets me worried is, as your reaction was spoiling, that Volibear. The pick is so huge right now in the meta, and imports have shown that they are quite willing to pick it either in the jungle or top position. So anything that is going to be going up against the bear in that top lane or jungle might have to spend a tough time. Now the Ornn is being locked in, so this Volibear is definitely going to be going into the jungle.
Yeah. And we do see the Ornn. I mean, honestly, CE Mist has now the potential of counter-picking, right? So we have to look into what exactly they have in mind. What do they think is very strong into an Ornn? And I can only think of like maybe a Fiora, but that is very risky because it's a skill matchup. And besides that, I mean, the Aatrox is the go-to for like the backup top lane against the Ornn. But then again, it's also such a champion. Like so many variables to be considered here. Import has just such a good draft already. It's team focused. It's team fight focused. It's around front line to back line. It's very straightforward. And even if one of those guys falls behind, they still have the capabilities of pulling off a 5v5 and winning that potentially. So yeah, CE Mist really needs something to counter this top lane now and at least get one lane behind.
So I would say that, considering Import's draft so far, okay, so we're going to go for the Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
So I am not sure about the interaction between the Mordekaiser and the Taric with the Death Realm. If Taric already casts the Cosmic Blessing, then does it unbind? Does it unbind with the ally?
I'm pretty sure if he casts it, it's coming down from the sky. Like it doesn't matter if he's binded at that point anymore. So I believe it will still go through. Right, but if he gets taken into the Death Realm and before he can cast his ultimate, that pretty much means that he's not going to be able to cast it onto a teammate and only himself, which will then still deny him being killed. But yeah,
then that means you would have to react quite quickly before team fight ever happens. So.
Yeah. Into the champion selection we go, and therefore our more important thing is gonna open up. You know the drill, boys. Betting has opened. Who is gonna win? Blue versus red. Use your exclamation mark bet for the betting system, and be careful if you do exclamation mark bet blue all or red all, it will bet now 100,000 points, so not 10k points anymore. That's how I lost 400k points, so please, yeah, give me those back.
Holy moly, I do not even know how to bet this time around. I mean, I lost a lot of points on the last series, as I bet twice on the wrong team, so I do not think that I should be spending some of my connectors on this first match.
Let me just help out Mr. Sentinel here.
Maybe I should, like, just see how the players are doing before betting. We do have at least one other game coming through, so
Yeah.
I know. I want to make it into the top 10 though. So now again, let's break down the drafts a bit further.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Let's
We
go.
have on the side of imports, we have a draft that is pretty much centered around the AD carry position. You have the Taric, who's here for the obvious big peel. You also have the Taric, the Galio, who's here also for the additional peeling with the grand entrance, with the hero's entrance, with the taunt and the knockups. And then you have two very beefy bruisers slash tanks in the likes of Volibear and Ornn. So all of this composition is super beefy, okay? You really need a lot of on-health damage and of on-hit damage to get through this kind of front line, as it's even more, and it's already very difficult as all of these tanks have a lot of base damages. Galio is quite good whenever he can get some AP inside of his build. Stuff like the Leandri, for example. Stuff like the Rod of Ages. Ornn as well also has a lot of damage in a 1v1 situation, especially into something like a Mordekaiser at the early levels, where Mordekaiser is not really that able to 1v1 anything in the lane. Volibear is just the Volibear, you know, he's the guy that comes right at you and chews you over and over until you die because you cannot stand him anymore. And all of that comp, if Ashe were to be taken down at the start of a fight, all of that comp slowly starts to fade away as soon as CMist manages to kind of sustain the damages. They have the Pantheon, they have Mordekaiser, they have Olaf. All of these three picks, they can survive pretty well in the heat of the fight. And then you also have the Thresh, who's here to create space for the Kai'Sa. And the thing is that Thresh is quite proficient at creating space whenever the enemy team comp is going to be rushing into him. And you can bet that with an Ornn, Volibear, and Galio, this is what these three picks are exactly going to be doing. So that Kai'Sa is going to be really hard to catch, especially if Ornn doesn't manage to connect the Call of the Forge God, or if Galio or Volibear do not manage to find the CC. And you have like literally no backline access on the side of imports, like not at all, zero. So if Kai'Sa manages to stay safe and use the temporization tools that the Thresh, that the Pantheon, Mordekaiser are going to be able to create around her, she can start to deal damage in team fights and melt down these very heavy front lines. But the thing is that, as I've said, as I've said before, right, the main component of this game is the Ashe. So you're going to see that Kai'Sa and that Pantheon, the two players of Connecting Mist who have backline access, try to get on top of that Ashe. And I do think that Pantheon is really going to be looking for these opportunities. He's going to be looking for the Grand Skyfalls in teamfights into the backline to get on top of that AD carry. And so it's really going to be pivotal for Connecting Mist to be able to feed that Pantheon early on, and also to funnel some kills into that Kai'Sa so that she can complete her office, or else she's not going to be doing anything in teamfights, and she's only going to be deleted by the AoE damages of Galio, Ornn, Volibear without even being focused.
I totally agree with you on this one. I mean, it's so based around what she just explained. Like, that is very much breaking the team compositions down. But I'm like mainly worried about Ashe here, because Ashe is not known to be that hyper carry, you know. And that is, if we look at this statistically speaking, there's literally only one champion on this blue side that will put out this big damage, and that will be the Ashe. Like, I cannot imagine a Volibear going up against Pantheon, a Mordekaiser, on Olav, and being the guy like, hey, let me 1v3, you know? That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, aside from a big mistake in the early game and someone getting really fed, like the Volibear, for example.
Yeah, but that would be the only case. If the game plays out completely normal, and even if botlane is slightly ahead, I don't think it will be enough for Ashe to 1v9. But I really hope that the CC that they drafted, this invulnerability and team fighting that they drafted, will be what brings down in the end this team fight, and therefore give them the slight advantage in those little skirmishes.
And so the thing is that with Imports drafts, they have two ways of winning the game. The first one is that Ashe gets super fed in 1v9s because she has like all of the space in the world to do so. And the other case is that every single lane of Imports wins their matchup just even slightly. Like if Ornn comes out of the wave of the laning phase with an advantage, if Galio does so against Pantheon, and if Ashe and Taric come out of the laning phase with an advantage with a direct advantage over Kai'Sa and Thresh, then their team fights are so much stronger because the amount of resources required by CE Mist to overtake the composition of Imports is not met yet. You need those percent health damage on the side of CE Mist, right? You need the Liandry on the Mordekaiser, you need the something like a BRK or something like a Nature's Tooth on the Kai'Sa.
Sorry, I'm just already seeing in-game chat, and we already went into the pause, and the first thing they say is mid-range crits. But of course, it's just a toilet break. We'll be going into game very, very shortly here. We can already head over to our beautiful in-game screen and have a last look at our bets and see what exactly is going on there before we get into the action. So the bets is exactly 40% in favor of blue side and 60% in favor of the red side. So a slight Twitch chat decision onto the red side favoritism. But yeah, we will be seeing if this is correct, if you guys stand correct in your predictions, or if you're just fangirling really, really hard over CE Mist. However, with that being said, I want you to notice down below our beautiful panels, which are also donate, just in case, you know. But yeah, our socials and our casters are linked down below, so just make sure to check them out and pop them some love on Twitter, Twitch, or whatever they have linked down below there, especially Sherlock, who has been with us for some time. And if you're interested in joining our organization, make sure to hit us up on Discord. We always need a helping hand. If it's lobby checking, if it's league manager, if it's, I don't know, whatever you want to do, cut videos, edit videos, post screenshots, post epic moments, give us content, cast for us, whatever you want, just hit us up with a message and we will be gladly looking into your application and give you a try out at least. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you are as ready as I am for this one.
I am ready, and I am also ready to see some of the outplays that might come through early into this game. So because I mean, we've already broken down the compositions to the ground in terms of team fighting and just raw confrontation, but now it's the early game, and so as the early game is going to be unfolding, you have to take a specific look at where the powerhouses of these team comps are in the early game. And the thing is that aside from the Volibear on the side of Imports, you still have Ornn, who can have a very dominant lane depending on the mistakes that the Mordekaiser is willing to commit. But aside from that, you don't really have a lot of lane domination. On the other hand, though, CE Mist, they have a very powerful early duo in the likes of Pantheon and Olaf. So you have to pay attention to these two throughout the whole early laning phase, as, well, you know, Pantheon with the point-and-click CC, he cannot have an any easier gank setup to provide to that Olaf. And because with that shield bash, he's jumping on top of his targets. There is no escaping with the Galio's charge, as it's going to be bringing him backwards. So obviously, you will want to gank that mid lane a lot, especially given that this Galio does have an Ignite as a secondary summoner spell. And also, you do have a lot of kill capacity with the Olaf and Mordekaiser into the Ornn, as Ornn doesn't have a lot of escape. Sure, he does have a lot of trading power, but if it's just a 1v2 scenario, you are sure to get a kill in return. Also, you have the Thresh, which can potentially be a real death sentence if he manages to tag his spells onto an immobile Ashe or Taric.
Yeah. I'm just quickly checking for what the delay is here, because we're stuck in this pause for quite some time, and I'll be letting you know in just a second. In the meantime, let me see who just gave us their beautiful love. So it was Zizor, thank you for following, and previously we had a few more followers coming through. Let me just quickly look at it and give you guys this cute little shout out, because you deserve it. So we do have, it was a bit further up.
Some names in the chat.
Oh.
TJ Flatline. Oh.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate everybody who is in chat already spamming away and saying hi. Oh yeah, thank you for following Uncle Dutch as well, as of course 1021. And I believe that is it. Oh no, Essential Blood as well. Thank you for following. So yeah, much appreciated. Welcome to the C family.
Flatline, who's now a champion, by the way. How does it feel?
I'm gonna give a quick message to CMist here regarding the delay.
But you are a bear.
Maybe you can entertain the chat in the meantime.
Yeah. Soon to be two-time champion, no spoilers, but I saw the script. So you're saying that the TJ Diamond is scripted? Now that is something I knew all along personally. Like even before the season 3, it was written black on white that we wanted to have Medieval and EQ Nan in the finals twice in a row to make a redemption story arc. It ended up being truer than it could have been. And now you have to watch out, because on the script for next time, I'm not spoiling anything, but we have a very old name coming back for the finals of the next split. Sorry for the wait, chat. Just like you, I want the game to start.
But we are about to get live. I just got the information that the mid lane is now finally ready. So that was, well, 2 minutes and 30 seconds ago. Oh, in the future, I would say. So yeah.
No Medieval this time, though. Screenwriter got fired, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, let me pause the music, because the action is about to go off, and that means that none other than CMist versus Imports is going
some action
to hit the Rift. Let me check up on Twitch chat. I kept trash talking with Twitch chat, so I'll be against you. Okay, nice one. Andy getting the hate already from Twitch chat here. I love it. Don't forget, boys, if you see it, me, Andy, the jungler for Imports here playing, he is on an off-world. He is a top lane main, and he has, according to his statement, I only quote him on this, I'm not saying this myself, this is his quote, not played any games at all besides some ARAMs left and right. So this guy is as unprepared as it comes. Well, besides, of course, the game yesterday, the best of 3 series, where he played 3 full games, and he struggled a bit, but he also had some really, really great moments with great objective control in the end.
Oh boy, Autofield.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be too harsh on him, but also give him some glory whenever he does something great. Yeah, with the 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that should be.
I mean, if you lose a game against an Autofield jungler, is it because you're really bad, or because that guy is like really, really good?
Yeah, I don't know, man. We will find out if he is really, really good, or if he's just, well, doing the necessary, because junglers have this weird spot in the meta always that they're like, if they're doing great and getting you laners ahead, they're like being praised, but if of course they don't do anything, or they just jungle away and like keep you safe and everything, they're so underappreciated, kind of like supports, but they even get flamed more for everything, especially when the carry dies. So jungle is just like the go-to flame right next to the support.
I do have an unpopular opinion, though. I think that in a team environment, if the average level of your jungler is below that of your laners, it is much less noticeable and much less impacting the games than if your laners are well below your jungler. Like, a good jungler with bad laners will not be able to do much, whereas a bad jungler with good laners will not be able to spoil the game.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I do feel like, however, when a jungler is very far ahead, he is in control of the game.
Yeah.
And there we go, finally spawning in imports here, and CMS looking fancy with those three skins coming through here. And of course, imports here on the other side, very, very beautiful skin. That horse there in the bottom is already Craigism for all the fangirls out there. But right now we see 2 pings coming down. And I'll let Sherlock do the color casting.
Well, there's not much color casting to do now, as the top side of CMS is now investing the top side jungle of Import. So we'll see a bit of information being taken here by CMS already in the early game. Noticing the starting position of that Volibear. Of course, Volibear sure is one of the strongest 1v1ers in the game right now. But it's not much compared to the power of the Olaf in the early game. So that small bear doesn't want to meet that Olaf as long as he doesn't have the stuff to do so.
So we have 2 wards coming down here, which I want to touch on. It's the red ward over at the blue side, which we saw shortly, as well as the blue side ward onto the Tribush, just to make sure there's no shenanigans of the enemy bot lane trying to pick off somebody. But it looks like Trash is just pathing back to the lane here with his AD carry, so they're just going to get an early lane.
And look at the 3 wards laid down here by Imports. This is really interesting, actually, because they are trying to prevent the Olaf from invading freely the Volibear throughout the early game. If the Olaf decides to go into the Volibear's jungle, he has to take a path that is really feeling weird to him, and also taking a big turn away from his usual pathing routes and away from his camp. So he will definitely not be doing that in the early levels. And so if he were to invade, he would have to be spotted almost immediately. So very good here by Imports to ward off a lot of the possibilities of that Olaf and try to negate the early presence. Now
we have a bot lane play. Highline is getting very, very low, and he's going to be most likely first of all, he's going to go for a heal right now. The exhaust is very, very good onto Kessa. Kessa is not having enough damage there, but it will be the Trash here taking the first blood in the end. So bot lane aggressiveness has paid out. This is why you pick this Trash, as we see in the mid lane. Another alternation here, but this time it's just AD Shen here trading back as he gets poked out so much. The minions are against him as well. So Young Prodigy taking the best out of that trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And CMS, they took this 1 kill and also some of the summoner spells. But we'll have to wait, as the Volibear is now going on top of that Mordekaiser in the top lane.
He's not going to hit the ranged Thunderstorm from the heaven, as we see in the mid lane. Yet another gank, so 2 ganks happening at the same time. The top lane already being over, and Young Prodigy is going for the greed kill. He's going to dodge the spear, and AD Shen here getting that beautiful triumph heal there in the end, just to make sure that he's going to survive. I do believe the Ignite had already finished ticking off, so he would have survived nonetheless. But good to see that Young Prodigy managed to dodge, but in the end, AD Shen had the better one of that ones. So
yeah, we were foreshadowing it a bit earlier, that that Olaf Pantheon duo on top of that Galio. There's not much he can do, and especially given that he almost trade killed, but it's only because that Pantheon was already very low at the start of the play. Imagine that he was being healthy when the Olaf came to his lane. It would have just been a one-sided massacre against that Galio. Now Olaf is onto that bot lane again.
God, what a beautiful thing. The Hex Flash here paying out immensely as Ashe is forced to play very, very defensively by flashing away immediately, but Highlander, no flash available, will drop in this gank by Xerok. And Xerok has made a great impact so far, as you see now. Edition going up against the minions and Young Prodigy once again, but this time he seems to be trading evenly.
And now Edition carefully respecting the likes of the Volibear, who could be sitting next to that mid lane, so he doesn't take a lot of elongated trades, which is the main reason why he's being traded so badly into that mid lane, which is a good read by him, by the way, because he knows that since his bot lane is already winning so much, he doesn't have to do much in order to win that game, aside from not dying and just not falling behind compared to that Galio.
Yeah, I do like the trash aggression, not gonna lie. This guy has been playing on point when it comes to aggression. Sadly, we're not seeing way too much of it, as we are most likely focused about the mid lane, as they're the ones trading the most. But yeah, this bot lane, he's playing on the edge of the knife there. Like, you can see him being very low right now, but that's because he's playing with this aggression back and forth, trading without taking out his hook and just hooking when it's absolutely necessary. And there we have a bit of a stall. Okay, we're back. Everything great. He's gonna go for recall now, and I also like the build here from Olaf. He picked up the Red Smite as well as the Longsword, so going very aggressive, seeing as he's ahead.
Yeah, he knows he has no time to waste and get as fed as possible with that early advantage that he managed to seize. Now you can see Volibear alongside with his bot lane going into that bot side river, trying to get their hands on some of the vision around this Infernal Drake, as we've been talking a lot about the team comps in a teamfight environment, and that's mainly because that's what these two teams are drafted for, right? And the thing is that by the time you reach that team fighting point in the games, this Infernal Drake is going to be valued a lot. Like, you have the Ornn, you have the Galio, you have the Volibear. All of these picks are going to be beneficiating from that Infernal Drake so much. They will get just basically free damage without having to build any. So this is what the reason why Import is absolutely taking the whole control of that bot side river.
Yeah, and most importantly, also we do have now this beautiful control here, as you said, onto this vision here into the enemy jungle. We see one ward over at the chickens, as well as one behind this wall next to the Gromp. So very good deep vision coming through, and yeah, they're losing an Infernal Drake due to bot lane prior, but I don't think that's too much of a big deal looking at the score.
Yeah, like currently right now, Imports are very happy with what they have, and so is CE Mist. The only thing that you have to be wary of on the side of Imports is to not fall down by much more. Like, if you let them snowball their advantage, this is when things are going to be starting to get out of hand. You do not want to be you do not want everyone on your team to be behind the enemy team when coming out of the laning phase, or else this is what's gonna like seal your demise.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed is like the flashes are coming up now for Young Prodigy. For example, Highlander has his back already. So let's see if Olaf is actually tracking them or anybody else is tracking them in this game. Because Young Prodigy still has like 20 to 15 seconds left, and all of him going now for recall, I don't think he's going to be a target. But then again, if you look at this more vulnerable target, it's going to be the Ashe, who is still flashless. So that could be one more exploit for this one. Right now we do see Trash hovering this top side because the Herald is about to spawn.
Yeah, Herald is about to come in. The Galio does have the hero's entrance that available though, so you have to respect his global potency. The Ashe, however, does not have the Crystal Arrow yet, so she will not be able to impact that play. Now Volibear is slowly looking for the go-in.
He should back off. This is a 1v4. He is very dangerously. He's going for the smite. Is he going to get it? I cannot tell just yet. It looks like he didn't get it because he's trying to protect. Yeah, okay, he didn't get it. The Pantheon's picking it up there, and there comes the Galio ultimate, but this will be it for Itmi Andy. No, he actually ults away. Kai'Sa fails his ultimate. Oh no, what a disaster. That should have been a free kill. Itmi Andy now falling very dangerously low to the blue earth, but I think he can handle that one. Oh my god, what a missed opportunity for CMS to punish Imports here.
Well, considering that the whole team was waiting on the other side of that wall, I would more say that it's a fortunate mistake rather than a real disaster, actually, because just picture what would have happened if she actually followed through the wall. Well, oh, Tarek flashing in for the stun, but the Dark Passage will just get her to safety.
Yeah.
And now that's a flashless Tarek.
Well, Flash expanded for a bit of aggression and security in lane. The lanes have swapped. We see top lane now in the bottom lane and the bot lane as the counter support having this top lane coverage now. I'm not really sure about this right now. I believe they should be looking for a trade back as there's 2 minutes remaining, so they should be already going for the setup on the vision. You see good pink ward in the bottom side river.
Now that is really dangerous. You see that Pantheon who is hastily clearing the wave, and you see that Herald in his inventory.
Yeah, but
and
he's...
you see that pushed top lane in the favor of Imports.
Yeah.
Now the pieces are coming together.
I believe he's going for recall and looking to go top lane here with his ultimates.
Yeah, he could be roaming, trying to get a double kill onto that bot lane, especially since Tarek does not have his ultimate yet, and he doesn't have his flash either. He could be looking for an opportunity, especially considering that now he has invested all of his resources into items, and so after finishing that up in the top lane, he could be lending down the Rift Herald for an additional reward.
They have spotted Volibear. Volibear is not on the top side. Olaf is also on the top side of the map, and Mordekaiser had pushed in the lane previously, now going to be sitting on this tower. So he's available to teleport if he had it available. It will be only coming up shortly, like 15 seconds. The hook going wide, but the stun hitting, and this is a 2v2. Tarek ultimate is being procced, and that's a very good play here by the Trash once again. Getting a Tarek ultimate for a hook is so worth it.
Now, you didn't get anything out of it aside from the Cosmic Blessing, so this play is called rinse and repeat. You still do have all of the tools that you need to perform a catch here in that mid lane.
Yeah, but hold on.
Top lane, so
Solom here is looking to evade the gang. He has his ultimate available, but it seems like it's just on ultimate being blown, so... I actually don't want to blame Imports, because using abilities that are going down on cooldown and coming back alive, as we see Volibear here, meetings, Xerok, and he's, oh my god, hit me Andy. Always close your shop. Mamma mia.
Oh my god.
What a needless death there.
A needless death as the Cloud Drake is now about to spawn, so that's even worse than when you would have first
especially
thought.
with this team, like you would want this 10% CDR on this team, on an Ornn ultimate, a Galley ultimate, an Ashe ultimate, Tarek ultimate. These are all screaming for, yes, please give me reduction. But yeah, the Herald in mid lane is what's more important now. A lot of gold going over to Pantheon as well as the cast. I don't think, oh no, Trash did manage to grab one of these platings at least. So
and because of that kill now, Olaf will just be perfectly fine soloing that Cloud Drake, as much as so that the rest of CMist is gonna be not losing tempo at all around the map. So this is starting to be really bad for Imports. They need to move into action right now because they are already sitting on a 3,000 gold deficit at 12 minutes.
Yeah, the deficit, however, will not matter. As I said again, in the 5v5, I don't think it's that big of a deal because 3k gold lead, the longer the game goes, is not really that big of a difference here. But individually, when you're speaking laning phase, it's very dangerous because that means one opponent could be up a full item onto you.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we do see, for example, in the bot and in the mid lane, we have the Humus being completed, even though it's a cheap item. We also have the Servus Embrace here coming through. Yeah, Nature's 2 in the top lane completed. So these are like, not Servus Embrace, what's it called? Man Immune, sorry. Man Immune here onto the Kai'Sa. So like these are complete items compared to, well, only an Abyssal Mask on the sides of Imports when it comes to complete items.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, CMist are sitting on a lot of tempo right now. They do have all of the cards in their hands to make plays around the map. But what I find really weird, actually, is that they do not tend to pull the trigger. I haven't seen a single Grand Skyfold yet from AD Shin, so...
Mordekaiser are moving up here onto this bottom lane, but they're getting out for free. I'm not sure how that one was a possibility. And they're still tempting to go for this trade. like this is a level 7 Ashe into a level 10 Mordekaiser. I'm pretty sure if he presses ults on you, Ashe, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you do not have yet what it takes to kite him out of your to safety. So.
But then again, Nashor's 2 Mordekaiser, not that great when it comes to defensive stats. Like, it's not the Leandus, for example, that gives you this additional HP. So, yeah, definitely an outplay potential, but yeah, still not something I would wish for.
You have to use some fancy footwork as well to make your way out of it, though. So, as you said, outplay potential, but now CMist is looking to bring the outplay to the top side of the map, as they are 4 now on top of that second Rift Herald of the game, and Imports are in no place to contest them or get anything back on the map, as Ornn is pushed all the way up under his T1. Galio is barely pushing into the T1 right now, as the Herald has already fallen.
The important part here is going to be platings are down, right?
Yep.
So there's no more gold to be gained by platings. But the Herald is in your possession, you have a very low mid lane tower, and if you break that one open, you basically are guaranteed a better or a more secure entry into the enemy jungle to advance your vision line, because that's what it's all about when it comes to these slow and high stake games. It's all about advancing your vision line, seeing the enemy before they see you, having more control over the map, getting the objectives without committing into a blind spot. And we see an engagement to mid lane with a beautiful hook engage here to Metred, who gonna get the first kill here onto the Olaf with the teleport completed of Keeler. A little bit too late because your body is already in the death realm.
Yeah, now Olaf is going to be face-checking the Volibear in the jungle.
Yeah, and Andy is trying to face this one, and we do see... Ooh, Trash is going to go down to the Ignite here, but in the end that will be... still...
What's happening?
Whoa, that was too much action for me to go on. But yeah, Galio dying there in the end, as well as Ornn now getting taken out under tower, most likely. Yeah, there's the X from Olaf. Zerok now in a 1 versus an angry Volibear who's like, hey, my friends are all dead, this is your fault. He's gonna go for the chomp, chomp, there you go. And that will be a total of a 3 for 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 3 for 4 in the
no, Trash already
of,
respawned, so 4 for 4 actually. Holy shit, it was 4-0, and there we see yet another one not respecting, and the Ashhold is not even gonna hit anyone because he's already dead as well. So in the end, actually Imports coming out ahead here with 5 kills to their name now, and CM is only getting 4 out of all deaths.
So right now, the thing that kills me the most with this play is that it's both junglers who have actually gotten their hands upon most of the gold that was invested right now. Like, that Volibear is now 3-1-0, and that Olaf is now 4-1-2. So it's not even like this changes or this shakes the state of the games right now, but look out, the Thresh is behind the enemy team, and the teleport is coming in now.
Oh no, teleport onto the left hand, such a smart play. If the trash hooks hit, it is gonna hit. It me and in big trouble, but Galio is here to save the day. We see Unstoppable onto the Olaf, but he's gonna take the first kill. He's very, very low. Ashe is down, you don't have damage anymore. At me and he's running for his life. Tyrick will finish off the Olaf kill. Highlander now, last man standing. And it comes to damage, he's gonna fall as well. Sorry, Young Prodigy, last man standing. Beautiful flash, but it is not enough. And that is yet another double kill going over to the Pantheon, as well as Mordekaiser picking up one for himself.
After a very bloody fight, CMist are finally mastering a very good hold upon this game right now, as they took 4 kills, 2 onto that Kaiser, 2 onto that Pantheon, and yeah, I think that this Kaiser already had a kill before, so it's actually 1 on the Kaiser, 2 on the Pantheon, and 1 on that Olaf as well.
I think Mordekaiser was the one that picked. I'm pretty sure he
I
picked
don't
up
know
the
where the kills went.
Yeah,
what do I know?
Can you tell me who got first tower? Because that's something we missed. We have CMist here on 2 towers now and Imports on 1, but I'm not sure who got this first tower gold, because that might have been important if it was a single person.
Yeah, I think it was Imports on the tier 1.
On the bot, right? Yeah.
I think, yeah.
There's still a Herald in possession though, like this mid lane tower has also fallen. I think that was during the alternation we saw on the bot lane just recently. But yeah, important part is going to be, yeah, Herald is going to despawn soon, but important part is here going to be the itemization. We do see the phase already coming through here, and now the 2-2 in turrets as well. But yeah, items. So Mordekaiser double item completed. Very scary already. Volibear, long way ahead of him. He has to get this Trinity. He's not quite there yet, but Galio has this Protobelt in inventory. Ashe has the Blade of the Moon King. So these guys are like getting ready for the fights, you know?
Yeah, not only that, but you only have to wait for the Mordekaiser to get his hands on Riley's scepter, because with the thick front line that he has on the enemy team, he's going to be controlling a lot in these fights with the AoE passive. So that guy is only begging for a third item in his inventory already. But yeah, with the Leandri's Torment, he's going to be dishing out so much max health damage onto these onto
Big
the
tanks,
likes of
yeah.
Ornn, Volibear.
Even Galio here, who's built for magic resist, but yeah. Interestingly enough, we had Mordekaiser stealing away the blue there on the edge of your screen, as well as well, the Herald being spawned in mid and taking down that tier 2, well, underneath 25%, so a good opportunity to pick that one up. And all tier 1 towers have fallen besides the top lane. Killeder here protecting his tower very, very much, and as well AD Shin here, Pantheon in the mid lane, protecting his tower on his side. Those are the ones that we're looking to break down.
And also, speaking of objectives, as the Nashor is now going to be spawning in 10 seconds, we haven't tackled the Ocean Soul at all this game. But the thing is that this is the best soul that CE Mist could have hoped for. Remember when I was talking about the front line of CE Mist having to temporize the fights to buy time and try to sustain through the base damages of the Imports front line?
Yeah.
Well, the Ocean Drake is just going to be doing exactly that. So I think that if CE Mist manages to get their hands on top of that Ocean Soul, and they do have a slight advantage in that game, it's just going to be GG over to CE Mist in that first game.
Yeah, I believe this is very much coming down to one crucial thing here, because Kai'Sa is the one that's sitting on 2 items as well as the other. Oh, they're actually starting the Baron. Hold that thought, because we're going right into a Baron play here. This has not been spotted by anyone. Ornn is making his way downtown. He's going to be spotted in a 1 versus 4, and now they're aware. They're calling the reinforcements. Let's see what they're doing. 3 people have arrived. It's a 3v4 scenario. Now it's a 4v4. Andy joining the phase, and this is Trash already going down. Pantheon has joined with his ultimate from the sky. Oh my god, Ashe has been taken out of the game. That's the main damage down for Imports. They're trying to still teamfight here. Good Volibear ultimate. He's going to get yet another one. Kai'Sa is down. AD Shin also falling just now. Mordekaiser redemption kill onto the Taric, as we do have the Olaf falling to the Angry Bear there. In the end, it will be Galio taken out as well. And Mordekaiser making the hero play for the triple kill onto Volibear. Now in a 1v1 scenario, we will have Xolem here being the victorious champion of this fight. In the end, no Baron for either team, but a really, really fat Mordekaiser.
Yeah, you would think that with both AD carries dead early in the fight and the huge Volibear with Triforce in his build going mad into the backline, Imports would have this team fight in the bag. But unfortunately for them, that Mordekaiser was just left alone for so much time. He was able to deal a lot of damage with that Leandri. We were talking about it earlier. There he comes into reality. And that guy is now 4-1-3, sitting on 224 CS at 22 minutes. That's pro-level CSing right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Mordekaiser definitely on top notch here. The only one to hit 10k gold 22 minutes into the game. That is so far ahead of anyone else. Like, yes, his last teamfight did help him, but it's mainly his CS, his control of the lane, and his gathering of resources. The most important part I want to touch on is exactly your point and my point together, as we see actually Pantheon going for a bit of an in-play. He's caught out there. He's going very, very dangerously low. The Ignite is ticking, but he has a healing pot going. Mordekaiser taking away the Ashe from this team fight just to make sure she's not putting out damage. In the backline, we have Volibear 1v4. He's going to... Sorry, Galio 1v4. He's going to get taken down. Ashe also dying to the big, fat Mordekaiser. Highlander now running for his life. And that will be yet another 4 kills going over to CE Mist. And I believe this is kind of a breaking point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. They have now 5,000 gold advantage, 3 towers opened, as well as the mid-tier 1 tower. So this, as you mentioned, right, is the most important one, because that's the one that enables such plays like what we've just seen, where they can enter the enemy territory and take their toll. Now, they are onto the Baron, and there is just no way for Imports to ever dream about contesting that one. Maybe a miracle steal with the Call of the Forge God.
Oh, nope.
Not
happening.
do it. And
build-up
now,
was there, the hopes was there, but in the end, Imports just one too many missteps there. In the end, a bit of a messy team fight, bringing that Baron into the favor of CE Mist. And I'm actually surprised because I was about to, well, give them some credit. Imports here, they were a 2k goal down before that previous team fight and still managed to take a lot of damage into the team fight and like very close team fight. In the end, they're 4-4. But even though Ashe fell very early into the team, into that fight, but yeah, definitely. As you talked about, base damage from these tanks did come through in that previous teamfight, but in the last one it did not matter because Mordekaiser is just going through those HP bars like it's sugar. I don't know, you say in English, you say like it's butter, right? Going to that, yeah, you're going to it like butter, I think it's what it's the saying in English. It's a bit different than in our language.
I'm a bit skeptical. Hold on, because Pantheon looks like he's in trouble now.
But this was the beginning of the victory for the last team fight, so let's see how this one plays out. Mordekaiser has joined the fight, and this should call for a back off, and Young Prodigy is not respecting that. He's gonna get towered over. No, he's not, because Killed is here to protect him. Itmi now taking a lot of damage, taking very, very low here, but Pantheon Spear will not be quite enough to take this big angry bear down. Body block coming through by the Taric just to save his team. And this tier 2 is under pressure. With the Baron, this will most likely be given up here.
Yeah, they are completely gonna be zoning away Imports from their own towers and taking away everything that sticks out of that base. Now, mid lane is under pressure. Mordekaiser is staying on the bottom side of the map. This is a 4-1 that Imports is very unlikely to be able to hold, as CE Mist now is only waiting for the next objective to come into their reach.
Yeah, and look at this. Everybody on the sides of CE Mist, besides the support, is at the 10k gold mark. Everybody else on the import side is not even breaching the 9k besides the jungler. So this tells you how far behind the individual carries are on imports and the individual laners.
Oh.
He upgraded volleys to Ashe. Yeah, I agree with our Twitch chat there. The Bork on Ashe was very crucial, but then seeing as Ashe is being taken out very early on, you need some secondary damage, so maybe that was the reasoning for the upgrade from onto this Trinity of the Volibear.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't even been able to execute on the Cosmic Blessing at least once during these teamfights, so yeah. I really do believe that this Ashe right now is just cannon fodder, you know, so you absolutely do not want to be funneling into her yet, and that Ornn is just going to be stacking up some more, a few more levels, and there you go. Now you have the Might of the Ruined King onto that Ashe. Done.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the chat mentioned, it wasn't a priority right now.
I mean, now at this point it doesn't matter anymore. Like both the items upgraded, so it's not that big of a deal. But I was actually wondering, well, both teamfights we saw, Ashe was completely out of the image right away, so I don't think she's there to pull out the damage, even though she's going for that on-hit build and not like a CDR build, for example, which we've seen in previous seasons. Yeah. But yeah. Right now, I'm very scared of two things. It's going to be the Pantheon here actually getting a bit tanky as well as going even more penetration, and of course this Kai'Sa who is reaching peak performance because she has the triple item and the Manami completed, so she's going to hurt.
Yeah, Manamune now fully stacked into the Mura mana. Mordekaiser is really going into the pack here. He doesn't even care at all. He does have the Morel Nomicon completed as well, so he's going to be able to negate a bit of the healing from the Taric.
Yeah. And after question...
Aside from that, it gives him a nice power spike. As what they are really aiming for is the fourth Ocean Drake. So getting a full item before that is really crucial for that Mordekaiser. Now, look at that. Imports are really trying to get inside of that bot side river, and they are trying to slowly push away CE Mist from their position.
Yeah, Imports doing a very good job at staying together, healing up the people that are going low. And they're going for the aggression on ultimate, coming down, hitting two people. Pantheon and Trash knocked off Trash, immediately flashing back, but it's Mordekaiser in the background. He's going to get one of the guys out. It's Taric ultimate finally coming down. Beautiful Galley ultimate in the midst of the fight. Trash already falling. Taric will be taken out in response. Both supports down. ADS and AD versus ADC. Ashe going down. Ornn going down. Volibear going down. And with the Galio falling last, that will be the ace coming through with double TP into the base. Most likely for the final push push of this game between CE Mist and Imports. CE Mist looking very, very strong in that last team fight.
CE Mist, they take the ace, they take the base, and now they're going to be taking the game as they are closing it onto game 1 of that series from TJ Diamond League.
Damn. I did not expect this to go down this way. Import had made such a good stand, but CE Mist was just luring them in, was saying like, come at me, bro. And in the end, we'll be taking this game number 1 here. Even double flashed in the end, a bit of shenanigans, but it will not matter. Game is taken because the Nexus is exploding. And that will be concluding the 1-0 in this series. But it's a best of 3, so once more at least you gotta do this, CE Mist.
Yeah, do not go anywhere, by the way. Yeah. Holy moly, what a game. I mean, it started out a bit close, for sure. You had the 2-0 start, but then it looked like Imports managed to find a small way to bounce back into that game by taking some kills here and there onto the Thresh and onto that Mordekaiser in that top lane. But aside from that, CE Mist, I feel like they have been playing that pretty calmly and controlled, and they haven't been rushing anything at all, because when you have a global on a Pantheon, you are really stuck into the mindset of, I have to ult, I have to ult, I have to ult on the side lane, I have to find a way. And yet, we didn't see any of that. We didn't see CE Mist actively trying to force plays from happening, to actively try to create stuff that maybe wouldn't even work. They just waited for Impulse to commit the mistakes, to commit the positioning mistakes, and then capitalize on them. And most of the times, as you mentioned before, what happened during that game was that Pantheon was getting caught. He bought a lot of time and soaked in a lot of damage with his E, and then it bought the time for the rest of the team to join in and then punish the overcommit from Imports.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the damage graphs. Looking at this Galio top fragging for his team is actually quite funny, but then again, he was building some AP in the end there and did have some pretty good ultimates with a lot of AV damage as well. But yeah, in the end, Mordekaiser, of course, the powerhouse here, as well as the Pantheon doing his fair share of damage, and Olaf and even the Kaiser here bringing it up there on the 4th place. So yeah, I think this was a team effort by CE Mist. But then again, I want to give out this new thing. So we have now a poll coming on for you guys in Twitch chat, so don't go anywhere. We're going to head into a short break of approximately 2 minutes. And during those 2 minutes, you can give me your vote on who was the MVP of this series. So just vote away and we will be giving you the result at the end of this poll. So in exactly 2 minutes. Just do it by exclamation mark vote underscore, and then you can do, vote spacebar and then top underscore blue and so on, you know? So CE Mist, don't forget the underscore Uncle Dutch, you got this. But yeah, CE Mist winning this first series, this first game in this best of 3 series. So we'll be right back with you after a short break of some music and 2 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Maybe grab some snacks though.
This is it. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
And there with the last 2 seconds ticking down. Welcome back, everybody, here to the TG Diamond League season number 5. Live on Connecting Esports, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube Gaming. We have an exciting game past us already because game number 1 between CE Mist and Imports has been completed in favor of CE Mist. And I did forget to update that score that you're looking at. But yeah, we have also the poll coming through here in the end. I made be extending that vote in the future, but for now we'll be completing this one, and as you can see in your Twitch chat right now, it will be in favor of the AD carry from the red side, so definitely the Kaiser here with Doc Uni Q getting the most votes in Twitch chats. Well played, my man, MVP of game number 1. But Sherlock, you're joined today, and yeah, give me your feedback on this game number 1. Do you think we're going to see something else from CMS in game number 2 now that they know how Imports play?
So, according to what we've just seen, Imports, they look like they are struggling to build a team fight, in a 5v5 situation compared to what their draft was designed to do. Like, sure, the teamfights are possible with that draft, but they are also very complicated because all of the pressure in these fights is resting upon the Ashe. So if the Ashe is not able to deliver with her positioning, and if the Taric is not able to deliver with the peeling, then all of your team fight, like the rest of the team, is completely crumbling down. And like, to be honest, Volibear had a pretty good game. Ornn had a pretty good game as well. So maybe instead of trying to make some team compositions that are really hard to execute for your bot side, place your carry potential onto your top side of the map, and then try to focus around getting an advantage from there. Getting an advantage maybe from the top side of the map. Like, Key Ladder is insane whenever you put him on a carry champion. Imports' jungler is having really good pathings these games. He's also quite able to find a lot of opportunities, and he's quite good at investing his resources. So get him onto a more carry-oriented jungler. Get him onto something like an Italy, like a Kindred, for example, like a Graves, something that can really beneficiate from having a lot of gold, not like a Volibear who has issues sticking with his targets and accessing the backline in team fights. On the other side, though, on talking about CE Mists, yeah, basically the only thing that bothered me a bit was that they were not pushing hard enough with the advantage they had. Like, we didn't see a lot of Pantheon Grand Skyfall, we didn't see a lot of roaming around. Mordekaiser was really big, and we didn't see him take 1v2 fights on the side lane. And we didn't see Kaiser quite threatening to the backline. So I would like for CE Mist to maybe go harder in their games, and I would like Imports to default to something a bit easier for them to execute and play on their strengths a bit more.
Yeah, I do agree with you on this statement from yours about Imports needing to play on their strengths, and CE Mist even playing a bit more secure when they had, because they had a lead, but I think they played it quite cleverly even until the end. But yeah, still a tiny bit lack of confidence, I would say, like to execute on their advantage. But with that confidence most likely being a bit up now after this first game and this first victory, the Draven is already banned out in the second game here in the virtual draft, as well as the Shen, and from the import side it's going to be the Aphidos ban. So no new bans just yet.
Wait, hang on, I'm actually missing out on the... That was a pretty short break, so I'm missing out on the start of that draft. But yeah, here I am, I'm catching up, and there we go. So same bans for CE Mist for now.
Oh, Gucci then. Yeah, same bans for now. CE Mist here, not looking to switch it up at all, but we might be going to something new just now, because Olaf is off the board, and the center is going to be the response from CE Mist. So CE Mist going for exactly the same bans, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check real quick. Yeah, exactly the same bans as they had in the first game. The only difference here from Imports is going to be that the second ban is the Olaf, and the third ban is the normal Silas. So only one ban difference from the previous draft. And now CE Mist, what will they have in mind for this first pick?
So Echo is going to be left open from the Olaf ban, but now Imports being on the red side of that draft makes me think that if the Echo does come through, Imports do have a response to it on maybe a lane or something. So I'm waiting to see what they have prepped for that pick specifically, if it ends up being locked in. But now CMS are going to be defaulting to something a bit much safer as an AD carry, locking in the Ezreal.
Well, Yumi's still being open. I know it
Yeah.
got nerfed quite hard, but Yumi Ezreal is still a thing. And looking at the past game, I'm not want to bring anything down. Like Dark UniQ was voted by Twitch chat as MVP of last game. He did have a great performance. He was the one to reach triple item first, I
Ooh.
believe. So I believe still, with all that said, the AD carries underperformed a bit. Both teams' AD carries underperformed a bit. Last game, it was more about mid laners and top laners, in my opinion, as well as the supports actually doing a really, really great job here if you consider the Thresh, or even the jungle if you consider the Volibear. So
Yeah.
it was not like stars coming or raining down because Kai'Sa was doing the 1v5 outplay or something like that. So yeah, putting them onto Ezreal.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
Exactly. Putting them onto Ezreal, like Mode style, that would have been appropriate for a team effort because it's long range poke, it's safe in lane, and you don't gotta worry about the lane at all.
Yeah, and whenever you're having an Ezreal as an AD carry, it's not like all of the pressure is ever going to be resting on his shoulders. Like, you cannot draft a composition with a single carry and that carry being Ezreal. So there's no way that CE Mist with that pick locked in ends up doing the same mistake than in game 1. Now, what I'm actually interested into is that Impulse have locked in a very early Yuumi in red 1 to try and deny it away from CE Mist. So now I am actually quite interested as to what they will draft alongside that pick to make it work and not feel like it was just a mandatory pick that they had to lock in to deny. Syndra is now locked in by Imports, so they will have to. They do have the flex potential, be it in the bottom lane position or in the mid lane. So this is already quite interesting. Now, Syndra can be paired with the Yuumi. Doesn't have a particular synergy, but is always better than nothing, you know?
Yeah. It's a flex pick in my opinion because you don't want to give away too much information, and Syndra into an Ezreal is not the worst, but it's also not the best, you know. Let's see what Import still has in mind, but first let's look at CE Mist here looking on that Thresh once again. So they're looking for some aggression in lane, once again, or for some aggressive roams with the jungler gaining control over the river, going for some mid lane ganks, all of that good stuff. But yeah, CE Mist looking for a bot lane completion already, no doubt about this. This could still be, in the end, an Ezreal mid lane. Like, seeing AD Shin here playing the Pantheon, I'm pretty sure he's also going to have an Ezreal up his sleeve somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well have. So that Thresh being picked up once again by CE Mist, I'm quite a fan of it. I mean, he has been doing such a good job in the early game, capitalizing quite well on the disrespect of the level 2 transition by Imports. Now, that Thresh is really is a really good one as well, because, you know, the difference between a bad Thresh and a good Thresh is that a bad Thresh has 2 modes. In a single game, he would only play on one mode. Like, either it be the aggressive Thresh or it be the defensive Thresh, the one who stays behind and only throws Dark Passage for his AD carry and peels. And on another game, he would only be pulling himself forward, bringing his jungler in with the Dark Passage and stuff. And the Great Thresh, he knows that these 2 modes can coexist inside of the game. So this player on the side of CE Mist, he did exactly that in that game, and this is the reason why I respect him a lot on that pick.
Interestingly enough, we do have a Trundle. Looking at how he played last game, very aggressive, I think this is a really good pick. But now this Wukong is really, really looking very, very Gucci when it comes to imports here, because this is another flex pick, but I also like it. It's like looking to disrupt the enemy lineup, because that was the hardest thing they had to deal with. The only time they really had a good Galli ultimate last time was this last team fight, and they still lost that super hard. And they didn't really feel like they could go back to front because they were just dying too fast. So with a Wukong, you're just going to split up the team fight, you're going to knock everybody up in the air, and, well, be very fishy as well with your W. So hard to catch and a lot of damage output.
Yeah, and right now you also have to mention that this Wukong was already picked by Keyladder before, and it had been a very pro-efficient pick for imports overall. So this could help them bounce back from that game 1 defeat and
Yeah.
actually bring it to game 3.
I mean, imports are most likely not looking to give up this game whatsoever. They're taking their fair share of time when it comes to picks and bans. Teams seems a bit more clear in mind when it comes to what they want to do with this game. While the Kled out of the picture, it's a very smart ban. Looking at what you have already, you don't really have a way of dealing with a Kled right now, since you already locked in the support, and it's not really one that denies a Kled engage. But then again, it's also probably something that is really good against Wukong, so that might be the reason they banned it out. Now the Volibear off the table, looking at CMist banning and targeting that jungle, while Imports keeps to target onto the top lane. Mordekaiser Kled all of these top lane champions out of the way already.
Yeah, you can clearly see what their intentions are outright with that Wukong. It's not a pick that they want to have only for the purpose of utility and the AoE knockup. It's a pick that they want to carry the game. It's a pick that they want for kill adder so that his outplay potential is unleashed in that game. And so that's why they are paying so much attention to their top side of the map and keeping that jungler for later, because they really do want to set up Key Ladder and Itmiandi in a comfortable position, especially with an auto-field jungler.
Yeah, battling it out on the Rift. There we go. I'm just posting over Twitch once more, just for all of these guys that are interested. Thank you, Kenny. I love you too, my man. Thanks for posting it in Twitch chat. I feel honored. But yeah, back to the game here. We do see this last ban being onto that Graves. I think that's a very smart one, because Graves is kind of mid to late game champion that can very much take over games if he has a good position in the game, meaning he has the items and the gold that he needs, as well as the advantage in levels and control. So yeah, smart ban away, because it would have also enabled a Syndra bot lane, for example. But now with the Sivir being locked in, this is definitely the Syndra mid lane. I cannot believe that the Syndra is going to go anywhere else, nor that the Sivir is going to go anywhere else than the AD carry role. And this leaves us with only one pick open. It's going to be the jungler for Imports. So maybe they have something very, very special in mind still. But knowing it is Itmiandi, well, actually, I don't know what Itmiandi plays, so he might have some pocket picks for us still. CMist, however, looking to respond now.
Oh boy, I do love that Sivir pick, because you already know all about the bottom side of the CMist composition, and Sivir is actually doing very good against the likes of Israel. Not so much into the Thresh, but it's not something that really bothers you that much when you have a Yuumi sitting on top of you for the additional movement speed before you hit level 6, and once you get on the hunt, you can pretty much 1v1 that Ezreal in the bottom lane if the enemy support tries to roam away. So that Sivir is so good for Imports, because it's going to be enabling them so much freedom, not having to care about their bottom side at all. They can also look to try and funnel into it. It's going to keep them a lot of opportunities open. But now with that Malphite being locked in...
Yeah, I'm smelling a Hazaki, but it would not be the best option here. Although it's a common pick, actually, from Yasuo players into the Syndra. Like, they're not that scared of a Syndra. So this could be interesting, but I'm not sure if it's in the inventory. There's the hover, at least, and it's actually going to be locked in. Oh my god. Hazaki and Walk Bottom Solid has joined the Rift, together with a Trundle in the jungle and the Thresh as well on the bottom lane. So this is the lineup for CMS. Now let's look at what Imports have to say for this.
Oh boy, we are going to be bringing out the YouTube highlights, the Mastery 7s, and the Reddit posts, because that Yasuo Malphite is sure going to be making one hell of a lot of noise, especially when you have immobile options on the enemy team with the Syndra and the Sivir, as well as the Yuumi that is going to be sitting on top of them, being kind of stuck in a weird spot on top of these champions.
The good thing about the Yuumi here is going to be that the max amount of people that Malphite ultimate and the Yasuo ultimate can hit is 4 people. So at least no 5-man ultimate coming on this game if Yuumi is not in the midst of transitioning from one player to another. So that is, I think, a very small condolence here for the sides of Imports. But let's still look at their last picker, because they have to pick a jungle still if they don't want to put this Wukong into the jungle. And
I mean, the real Yasuo players, they always find a way to make the YouTube multi.
exactly.
You never know.
If it is 0-7 and then going triple item and winning the game in a solo push or in a really good well-played team fight, or if it is the Yasuo just popping off in lane, we will have anything, because we are just happy to see that champion. It's a mix-up of what we usually see, and therefore very, very good already. Entertainment has been delivered. One of Imtop's taking really a lot of time here. Just
I can already see the title of the video, like something like YouTube highlight. Arca Data would be proud. 5-man ultimate against the Yumi. Wow, that would be poggers.
Yeah, and there we go. The Karthus is coming through. It's the no ganking jungler, as we call it, or like the ganking jungler after 6 only. So interesting. A Karthus into a Trundle, very hard to execute if you're looking into 1v1s, but there's a possibility for Karthus to win that 1v1. I'm just putting that out there. There has been these things, because Karthus, it all comes down to hitting your Q, and if he's isolated in a 1v1, obviously he is, it's very much possible for him to win that one. However, I will be giving that advantage to the Trundle here, because he can apply more pressure easily, or at least has an easier way to apply his pressure due to his kit and of his nature of being tanky. Meanwhile, the card is being very, very squishy. Now we shall be heading over into the champion selection, which brings us to our betting. So whoever didn't lose all of their money and their family and their grandmothers and whatever you bet away last time, bet it now, because betting has been opened. Exclamation mark bet blue, and then any amount between 10,000, sorry, 1,010, oh, 100,000 now, sorry, on to CE Mist or Imports. We will have it all. Bet your life away.
Okay, I'm gonna do as you said then.
You still have points
bet
left? Did you
some
bet
of
on the
my
right
chips.
side?
There you go.
Hey, you did it the wrong way. Sherlock, no! Exclamation mark bet red, and then
Whoops.
oh
Wait,
no,
hang on.
Mr. Sherlock.
I switched the
Amount and the
side
color,
and,
yeah.
and the amount, yeah. So let me get that right, and there you go. My bait is placed now. Wait, did I bet on red. I was meant to bet on blue.
It's okay, I will gladly take your points, and I fucked up as well. Oh my god. Can I? Thank you. I'm just too stupid to type today, I guess. But yeah, 32 viewers in the chat. Welcome everybody here who's just tuning in. It is CE Mist versus Import. CE Mist is leading this series already by 1-0, but this does not mean anything. If Imports are going to take this game back now and evening out this score, we will go to game number 3 and everything is back to 0. It does not matter if you stomped in game 1 or if you flexed in game 2, because only game 2 will matter then. But before we get there, we have to play this one out.
Yeah, and to talk a bit about the draft, and especially that last pick, Karthus, I am really half-hearted when it comes to that pick, because whenever you have 2 magic damage dealers on the enemy team, Karthus becomes a bit of a non-threat, because you start to build some magic resistance, and as you do, it becomes ever harder and harder for the Karthus to feed himself. And if he cannot get fed effectively, he's gonna be falling behind just because he's a jungler and not gonna be able to reach that point where he can just press R and win team fights before they even happen. And the thing is that you already have Syndra and Yumi on the side of Imports, so that's 3 magic damage dealer, which means that everything is screaming by magic resistance on the side of CE Mist. You want that Malphite to be building something like an adaptive helm, or something like for example, Abyssal Mask. You want that Trundle to build something like, for example, Hex Drinker, Mercury Trees, stuff like that. And the Hex Drinker is going to be having a lot of value on the Yasuo and the Ezreal as well. And because of that, it just shuts down a lot of the options for Imports, in terms of jungle, because you do not have a lot of gank ability with the Karthus. You need the setup to come from your lane and not from yourself. And apart from Syndra, you do not really have any setup at all. And so it's kind of bothering me. Like, the only good point that I see in that Karthus being locked in is that the pick is fairly easy to pilot.
Yeah, I
Aside
mean,
from the
it's
clear
just
being
like a
breakfast
sit
pick.
on this bike and pedal to the end, you know. And when you get
Yeah.
there, you press R. So basically, that's what he's trying to look and yeah, that's what he's trying to look to do in this game. But I think it's before that imports have to make the important choice, because it's the Wukong here that is quite intriguing, as well as the Yasuo Syndra lane here. Those two lanes are, in my opinion, very, very much, to use your word, pivotal to this game, because those solo lanes are most likely the ones that are going to be snowballing. And then it comes down to jungle presence to execute that, because Wukong has to play of a jungler that is not that's well utility focused when it comes to ganking and more into power farming. So a slight disadvantage for the Wukong, even though he's most likely the one that wants to win his lane. And same going for
Yeah.
the Syndra and the Yasuo. Now with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, I will be giving you once more this hint that the betting has been opened, and then we will let Sherlock analyze and break down those team compositions. As we see, 88% in favor of the blue side, 13% are believing on imports of winning this game.
Yeah, as you people are betting, I'm going to be going in a bit more in depth about that. But yeah, as I said before, right, Karthus is not going to be able to do much. Like, realistically, he will not have resources, and he will have a hard time getting fed as soon as the enemy team starts to stack up some MR. Now, the main point here is that either your Sivir or your Wukong is in a position where he can take the whole game away. Like, Wukong has to get super fed in order to be able to one-shot the Ezreal or Yasuo in one go. But if he cannot do that because he's against the Malphite, so he doesn't have the most simple of all lanes, he's gonna be falling a bit behind, and then the Yasuo with the wind wall, the Thresh with the wall, and all of the tankiness from that front line on the side of Sea Mist, as well as the permanent threat of having the Malphite unstoppable force into your backline and following up with the Yasuo ultimate. It just means that once that Wukong is going to be going in, the follow-up would be hard to do in the favor of imports if they want to safely DPS. So that's really a game that I wish for imports to win, but I cannot help but think that CA Mist actually won that draft. Like, even if they are full on armor and Wukong has a passive that helps him stack some armor, I do not think really that there is a realistic way of actually getting ahead without a big mistake coming from CA Mist. I think that this game is CA Mist's to lose.
Yeah, well, we're going into the game right now. They're about to spawn and load onto the Rift. Oh, with a disconnect coming to it already. But yeah, into the game we go, and into the pause we go. But that will give us some time to break down the summoner spells that we have. So Solam here on this Malphite in the top lane has won this combat for this lane, as well as Kia opting into that my words are not coming out today. Opting into that Conqueror, so two different types of style. Xolom is going to mostly look to poke with his Q. Meanwhile, Killed is going to look to extend the trade as soon as he has the items, because his Conqueror is going to be stacking then. And press the attack on Trundle as to be expected, as he can play a bit more aggressive here against Itmi Andy's Karthus, who's just going to look to press R every once in a while and get his Dark Harvest Soul, which he's running. And then, of course, Conqueror in the mid lane as on the AD carry. And on the other side, we do have Syndra here with Phase Rush and the Sivir with Lethal Tempo, Aftershock on Trash, and to finish it off, we'll be having the Yuumi with an Aerie coming through. So pretty standard runes, I believe. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I like that the Ezreal decided to go for the double combat summon spell instead of the standard teleportation that you see on most Ezreals nowadays, to kind of try and match the advantage of summoner spells coming from the Yuumi. So this one is really interesting, but aside from that,
I'm gonna
We don't have anything
smack
too
them.
fancy.
I'm gonna smack them for being disconnected. Strategos, you missed. You are testing your limits with me.
They were like, oh, he reconnected. Psych! Actually got a DC. But yeah, now everyone is well loaded into the game, as the players are now spreading around the Summoner's Rift and going into covering positions. And once again, you see Sea Mist gathering as 3 on the top side of the map and trying to force their way into the jungle of the enemy to manage to get some early information. And now Yumi is going to be doing the strategy of dying to the tower to get some gold from her support item without
But
getting
I'm
tagged.
not sure if Trash managed to. Yeah, he did manage to get XP here. I mean, you guys cannot see this, but I can see that Trash managed to get some XP from this kill. So this might be giving him a very, very tiny edge on hitting level 2. So he gathered some XP from that death.
Let me just check quickly the amount of XP he gained.
Yeah, that'd be great
So yeah,
because I can't
he
see
should
it.
be getting his level to 1 creep, 1 minion earlier than his AD carry.
Yeah. Well, we can test
So-
it. We can have a look at it once it happens.
Quite interesting to see what they are going to be doing with that. Especially considering that Ezreal's death threat is not that high at level 1, but rather more at level 2 once he does have the either the W for the added burst damage or the Arcane Shift for more chase ability.
You know, top lane's already having a go at each other, so I'm just like, hello, my friend, and Kida like, hello there. But yeah, in the mid lane as well, Yasuo being, of course, this nuisance dashing. And now we have a look at the bot
handshake.
lane. So let's see if you're actually correct here. If it's exactly 1 minion, we'll be
Should
back
be.
for the level 2.
But yeah, as you said before, is the formal handshake of the top laners.
Yeah.
Now both of them are running corrupting potions.
He's about to hit level 2. So
Yeah.
1.5 minion away.
Just wait for that half minion. There you go.
Yeah.
Get level 2.
Ooh, okay, nothing else happening with that level 2, so in the end it did not matter all too much. Just a slight advantage as we go back to the jungle here actually, because we have Trundle here on an interesting invade, and this is what I pointed out earlier. Trundle just has the ability to, well, pretty much bully the Carters, and Carter's however is deciding to be very smart as well and grab himself, well, no wet buff because the wet buff has been taken. So an invade here happening.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for the Raptors instead and grab the whole bot side of that Trundle.
Who got his
And the
wet buff?
Trundle... Yeah, he's going to be bothered by the Yasuo though.
Yeah, but this is a 1v2 and this might be looking for the first blood here. Oh god, the flash away is too late. In the top lane we have another trade. Young Prodigy now being knocked up and he has only mana for 1 more Q. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not. He's even going to get exhausted. Flash away, heal coming through here by the Yumi and...
Oh.
Beautiful hook. And this is the big king, the troll king coming in here to finish off Highlander. Highlander's going to fall for his dedicated save onto Young Prodigy. So yeah, in the end, a bad play here by Andy, or initiated by Andy, and in the end, Young Prodigy is not even going to pay for it, but it's the support, of course, dying for his team.
Great rotation here by the bot lane of CMS to actually walk up all the way to that mid lane and grab that kill, gracefully handing it over to that Israel. Oh, the death sentence connects once again!
Yeah,
And the spell shield is now way too late. Sivir has to blow both of her summon spells away to get her away with her life.
yeah, she's going to stay alive, but that's both summoner spells down, as you said, as well as Keela. They're looking very low in this top lane, and the wave is not in a perfect position for him. Ooh, okay, Comet is missing. He might-
Holy moly, these thresh hooks are so deadly in the early game.
yeah,
And
I'm
so on point.
pretty sure Ezreal had the flash there. Yeah, he has flash still. He could have gotten one more auto in as well as the trash, the double flash for the kill. I'm not sure how much worth it would have been.
A
But yeah.
lot. Spoiler, a lot. But yeah, I don't think he was reminded of the barrier on the Sivir. It's not a summon spell that you usually see on AD carries nowadays. So
Yeah, I mean, the Yumi brings that advantage, of course, with not needing that flash really much. And Aiden Shin here just being a nuisance in the mid lane. He's going to take a tower shot for his trading, but that was some clean execution there onto the Qs, not missing that one. And rapid succession, as well as the jungle actually looking very, very scary. Let's have a look at individual gold here, Sherlock.
Yep, so you can see the Karthus power farming his way through on the red side of your screen. And now, on the other half though, the Yasuo sitting on 32 CS right now has a bit of a gold lead right now. But yeah, that Karthus being quite healthy in gold, mainly because he stole away a lot of one camp away from the Trundle, ended up dying for the sake of it, but still managed to stay on flow against that Trundle.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to how this top lane is going to play out, because he's already itemizing into that armor here, the Malphite, and Wukong is already having a hard time before this, so you can see him, he's having the advantage in minions, and he's really just going, oh, he's missing the cannon minion, this one must hurt every top laner.
Yeah, you know, you're having a small heart attack every time your top laner misses a cannon minion. I'm gonna check the runes really quickly and check if anyone bothered to get a nullifying orb inside of their runes.
Okay, Kilian now finally walking up
Yep.
and doing some damage thanks to his wave being really, really big. A lot of casters do a lot of damage. On the other side of the map, we do see a Drake attempt here by CE Mist. That is going to be uncontestedly taking this Drake.
Yeah, lots of pressure on the shoulders of Band and Highlander right now because of the early shenanigans in the game, and because of it, that Drake will easily go towards CE Mist. Now, I've been checking for some nullifying orbs, because whenever you're playing with a Karthus, that rune hits that rune gets a lot of value, as you will almost always be proccing it. But nobody bothered to take it.
Okay, Yasuo actually taking the blue buff and the flash aggressive onto the Sivir, trash hitting that flare, and therefore the Yasuo ult going off, and that will be Yasuo getting that kill onto the Sivir. This was not the position to be in, especially if your flash is still down. Like, yes, you had a barrier to be expanded there, but barrier is not going to do a lot against 4 people in your own jungle. And even the Gomp has been stolen away here. X-Flash over the wall.
Yeah.
Hook's going wide, and this will be too much for 100 kill. Just backing off here on this trash after he's clearing this pink ward and getting slightly bullied here. This is like the annoying mosquito, you know?
Thresh is looking to fish for the cat.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Ironically indeed. But yeah, we do have Karthus, like you said previously, keeping up in farm. So pretty much even in gold here. However, in the mid lane is looking very much dire for the Syndra. 1k gold advantage here for the Yasuo. In the bot lane, 500 gold advantage for the Ezreal, and he's going to be scaling. And in the top lane, pretty much even. Besides the 200 golds.
Now, this is the time where approximately, as a Karthus, you would like to try and go against that Malphite in a 1v1 scenario, because Drake is gone, and your Wukong does have his Cyclone available. So this is the only reliable gank setup that you can get, and the only kill that you can hope to net with an early Requiem. So as long as he does complete his recall and maybe get his hands on a Runic Echo, which he still wouldn't have because he only gets the gold for a Mephitic Codex, he's gonna be able to go fishing for some kills with that Requiem. But until now, the whole import lineup is pretty much harmed and hindered by this Karthus pick, which is the reason why I didn't like it that much.
Call me crazy, but Xolem is about to tower dive Kileda. Kileda's W is on cooldown, he's gonna go aggressive here. Kileda is realizing this, he went for the ultimate, but he's still gonna die here. I'm calling it.
Okay, looks like
he has to flash the Malphite ultimate. He's not gonna do it, he's dead. What a prediction. Holy shit, man.
And there you go. You said it, he did it, you just had to ask for it. Now, on the side of that little play on the top lane, CE Mist, they also get the Rift Herald out of it. So 100% objective control for now. And that game looks even more one-sided than the previous one.
Oh my god, what a tower dive in the middle, and AD Shin is not tanking the tower, so he's gonna get out safely even as well. And that was a good execution there by Trash. Getting the aggro of the tower first, then going for the Yasuo ultimate into the backline, and Syndra had no chance of staying alive there.
Yeah, beautiful juggle between the tower aggro, as you mentioned, which is really what's secured that perfect play in the favor of CM Mist. And I feel like this game is already getting out of hand on the side of Imports, and this might be a quick 2-0 series, as Yasuo, with a shiny shiny outplay and highlights, is already 3-0 in that game. Does have, look at that, the Phantom Dancer already completed 10 minutes in, so right now he's going to be even more unstoppable than before, and that Syndra will not be able to do much against the likes of that Yasuo anymore.
I'm interested in seeing what else is going to come online here, because Phantom Dance is only the first item of many to come, because this is a 5k gold lead as well as 5 kills advantage. First tower already in your favor. Mid lane is in a lot of struggle. She's not going to be able to farm safely anymore while being down already by 30 gold, 30 CS. And at the end, he's just going to fall here to being out of position, not respecting. This is exactly why your mid tower cannot go down this early on in the game.
2-meter 100 killer is just making it look so easy on his side. Death sentence after death sentence. That man is already at 4 successful hooks and 4 successful kills in that game. Hook hitbox on fleek, says the Karthus, and Thresh is just responding with a question mark. That's what you love in the CE connecting.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I do believe the Thresh hooks have been a point for discussion so many times, but this one is just a really good Thresh in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful once again. Andy eating his own words. This is a 3v2 however. He's gonna go down, but oh, they get a redemption kill, and this was very, very much needed for them to get a kill finally, but they're still gonna lose the objective now with their jungler being dead. 10 seconds on the respawn, however, so very low respawn timers.
And you know what? Do you know what is the good thing with that play?
Tell
Is
me.
that because there was some action on the bottom side of the map, the observer decided to stay here instead of panning over to the top lane, where Keyladder was getting solo killed once again.
Oh, well,
So-
Keyladder, lucky you. We did not see that one, but I guess it's one prediction of your death is enough for me today. I'm gonna be satisfied with that. It's gonna call for more. However, in the jungle, we do see a lot of pings coming to Yasuo and Trundle wanting to go in onto the Syndra because they have spotted them, or at least to contest this blue buff. Oh, but Syndra's like, no, it's mine! And Yasuo's like, Hazaki? The blue is
Hazaki.
for me. Yes.
Oh, nice one.
Zerg nearly going down there, taking a lot of damage. So they do still have... Oh, wait. Xolam is being angry here. He's smashing his
Yeah.
red glowing fists onto Keyladder. And Keyladder is like, please no, have mercy. God, oh no, he's going down.
God.
And oh my god, the Malphite is on a killing spree.
And not only is he on a killing spree, but it's also all solo kills on his side, especially against Keyladder. I mean, that's not it's not every day that you hear about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically Wukong being released, like you remember, or not released, Wukong being reworked. This is the first time he's getting reworked, and he's going out, as we see Andy once again just not respecting the... Oh, this is not gonna do a lot. Like, yes, it's nice to...
Yeah.
It's not even gonna get to your Dark Harvest, damn. Oof, tough times.
You have to mention that Trundle went on his way to smite the Krog so that he wouldn't proc the Dark Harvest.
Yeah.
That's how comfortable in his game he is, that he can afford such a luxury.
I mean, the only way you don't have to play against this absurd damage and tankiness that brings a Malphite and a Yasuo, in my opinion, is by not giving them anything. But looking at the scoreboard, they are 3-0-0, 5-0-0. So I don't foreshadow anything, but Imports are looking most likely at a 2-0 defeat here.
Yeah, like, not only are you gonna get shredded to pieces by that Yasuo, but the Malphite is so healthy in that game, he could also go on his way to get some AP and try to one-shot you before the Yasuo is able to do anything.
Pretty much,
So,
yeah. Like
things are really going bad for Imports right now.
the chances are, even if you will be seeing a 5-man, even though how unlikely that is, but even if you will be seeing a 5-man ultimate by Malphite, by the time the ultimate is completed, I don't think there's going to be much HP left to ult for the Yasuo. So let's find out once that happens. But right now we see Xolem in a 1v2 actually, because the tower and Keeler are very angry at him for tower diving. And now Thresh is dodging everything. Even the emote, he's gonna get hit by this one now finally. Oh, that's a flash away. And that's his done.
And no Requiem available for that for the Countess to salvage that kill,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
No flash forward by the Syndra either to like ult her. Ult the Thresh there, so no confidence. And no vision either.
And that is exactly what you get for trying to Requiem before you really die with a Countess, because you're tilted, right? This kind of opportunity happens and then you miss out on it.
What am I watching? Band getting tower dive. Keeler getting taken out on the tower as well. See, Mist is just taking the words that we gave them onto their way, like be more confident, go more for those plays when you're ahead, pull the trigger more often. And what are they doing? They're just completely smashing Imports right now.
Yeah, I mean, I do not think that the draft only is to blame this time around. It feels like the mental impact that the first
Okay.
Countess.
They could have gone for the kill to Thresh there, but okay.
Now, a real question: do you think that this tower will actually save him?
I mean, Sivir coming up and nobody else from the sides of C Mist is on the map, and it's only a Thresh here also, so I do believe they are not going to tower dive. They need at least somebody to front. Oh, never mind, I take that back. Holy. But this is a very risky... Ooh, from downtown as we're getting the assist there in the end, as well as my camera going crazy. Sorry for that, but the double kill coming through onto the Thresh here.
I think I won.
Yeah, I guess you are correct, man.
Holy moly! Yeah, this is just mental boom at its finest.
I mean, I think it's okay, chat is actually being funny. I think it's something else as well that's a factor in this well, big defeat coming up here for Imports. It's also that Imports is now not on that many confident picks anymore. Oh, that's a big shutdown. Hello there, young prodigy. Thank you for participating onto the kill board. As we see AD Shin going 1v3, no fear at all. This Yasuo is like Hazaki, Hazago. And now he's in 1v3 scenario. Let's see, his wind wall is very small, but it shall block some of the damage. And he's in a very tough spot. And he's going to get stunned and taken down. Yuumi getting that shutdown is so sad. But the triple dragon already here coming through. Infernal Drake being picked up and all of that fighting.
Oh my god, and Wukong is taking so much damage up in that top lane. He's, what, 3 levels down compared to that Malphite?
He was 4 levels down previously. He's 2 levels down now. Yeah. And with his ultimate available, Keeler is about to go boom boom once again. Oh, he didn't pull the trigger. I'm sad.
I mean, you would have gone for it.
Yeah, I would have definitely gone for it, because it would have blown the flash for sure, because the recall animation cannot be cancelled fast enough with the W, and ultimate E would have been enough to kill Wukong there, in my opinion.
And right now, Imports, without any help from an eventual Risk Scuttler or a Baron buff, they are already pushing all the way in the mid lane towards the tier 3 towers.
Student's echo is just... I
tier
cannot.
3 bot is almost down.
So now running for his life as he spots the angry cat who is not able to jump onto Keeler, that I will do now finally. But it's a very dangerous spot to be in. This is some false confidence that you're getting, my man, because the whole team of CE Mist has joined you. And Keeler now in a 1v4 scenario. Is he going to get out alive from this one? We will be watching that in a second as we see AD Shin and... Oh, actually flash forward here by Xolem. Never mind, Keeler going on the tower here. Tier 1 has been successfully left behind him. Go back
Not
to the
only are you running away for your own life, but also for your support's sake.
Yeah. Keeler here using the blast cone to go over. He's gonna not take aggro from this tower, neither from this one, and this might be the great escape. Oh, as we'll ulti.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Well, Highlander's like, I took the wrong train. How did I get here? As we see a tower dive here onto the Syndra, and we just kept catching the last glimpse of that one. Yasuo just completely demolishing, as well as Xolam being like, yo, Andy, go back to the death realm where you belong. And this is an 18-3, an absolute scandalous demolish of Imports right here.
And he doesn't even bother to blow that Requiem on that Malphite because he knows he doesn't have the damage. Barely has a Haunted Guise completed on his side, so absolutely 0 damage on the board for Imports. Whereas Seam is there, they just keep going at these towers. They do not even feel the need to gather around that Baron buff. They just need that that Rift Herald charging in and now taking out some of these tower on the side of that Malphite.
I'm curious to what... Oh, nice spell shade there by the Sivir. I'm curious to what could be the slightest hope here for Imports, but I mean, I just see...
Disconnect?
No, I just see this is one... Stop trolling. I just see this Infernal Day coming up in 1 minute and 50 seconds here, and that will be the Infernal Soul already going over to Sea Mist, which will bring us to a point where Sea Mist will just blow up the enemy lineup even more, and, well, Luden's Malphite with Infernal Soul on top, I think that's just GG whenever he presses R and hits it.
I mean, you do have a Ravenous Hydra on the Wukong.
Yeah, that's going to do so much, bro.
And an Essence Reaver on the Sivir.
Yeah, look at how much this Hydra is doing, man. Look at it. He's losing a fight where Xolam didn't even use the ultimate onto him.
And so you also have the Essence Reaver as well as the Ardent Sensor on the Yuumi. So that means that if Imports manages to gather as 5, to depush the side lanes and gather as 5 around that that Infernal Soul as it pops up, then they can try to look for an opportunity, and when the 5-man disconnect hits the CE Mist, then they can contest that Drake.
Yeah. But yeah, they will be starting the Baron, and this might be the call that will be determining the end of the game, because I don't think anyone is in a position to steal this one.
Yeah.
Looking at Andy here, he's on the other side of the map. Maybe his lucky Luden's proc here from his Spell Thieves, from his...
Requiem, yeah.
Yeah, Requiem. Nope.
Yeah, there will
They'll just be like, this one is mine. Good smite there. Perfect execution. No danger. And Kirilla once again in a very tough spot. He's just gonna get spotted, but stay alive for now.
And I'm thinking that right now, CMIST are looking to finalize that game and that series by securing that Infernal Soul, as they are Baron empowered right now. 13,000 gold, and now another hook connects, but the stun will save her life for now.
The important thing here is actually the Aftershock being down. A beautiful flash forward onto the Syndra. She's gonna get knocked up, and that's the Yasuo going aggressive, already taking down the Carthus. Now the Syndra will get the redemption kill onto the trash, but it will be Sivir falling to the king of the jungle, the Trundle, getting that double kill onto the Yuumi in the end there, with Malphite taking down Syndra, and as will the Wukong, leaving no one alive but their pride, and therefore there will be 4 kills. 4 people alive for CE Mist, only sacrificing their support, even picking up the soul, just for good measures.
Gaming once again saying hitbox in the chat again and again. Oh my god, that's some high quality BM right there.
Yeah. We do have this Infernal Drake soul now coming down, as well as the Inhibitor Tower number 1 going down, Inhibitor itself going down, and a back off just to make sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can just stay and still have an advantage. They don't even need to spend all of their money that they have in inventory, but seeing as it's, well, around 3k for 2 members, why not spend it?
Right now, it's just a delay. That was a funny looking animation on the Yasuo skin.
True. So, triple item Yasuo, triple item Trundle, about to be triple item Malphite, who one of them is a Luden, so scary Malphite indeed. As, oh my god, that spell sheet saves the Sivir from the main damage there. and you can only guess how much Trinity damage and Menomine damage this Ezreal will be putting out.
Yeah. I don't think you even need to run down the item list anymore. Just the 15,000 gold are kind of speaking for themselves right now. Look at that, he's even trolling his support.
I mean, what else do you want to do right now? Imports are not looking to fight. They're just gonna 4-man group actually here.
Getting bored right now.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Well,
That Thresh is a god. And now they are just stomping their way into their own base as Karthus now left to Requiem in the middle of nowhere.
so 7-0-1 Malphite and 0-7 Wukong. Do you see a pattern?
I think I'm starting to see a pattern somewhere. You did him a really dirty run right there. Not gonna lie.
But yeah, with the Rampage here coming through, the respawn timers are so low that they're respawning even though they just got taken out. There's yet another kill. I don't think we need to cover anymore what's going on your screen and just go to the more important part. It's going to be yet another Threshold hitting, and with that, the end of the game. Oh, never mind, Young Prodigy here. Hero, is he going to save the base? I don't believe it is, because the Nexus is falling dangerously low, and 80 Shin is just going to be the good boy finishing off that game, making this a 2-0 in favor of CE Mist, taking this series in their favor.
So game one was a bit more of a struggle, where they started to play on the back foot and kind of made their way up there by securing small leads after small leads. But this one was just completely different. They just rolled the dice and started rampaging all over the map, with the Malphite solo killing his opponent, Yasuo getting kills left and right off the back of some small skirmishes early on, and then just outright snowballing their leads out of the Thresh hooks that were so on point throughout all the game.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, we do have, if we're now going over to the damage graphs here, some very cute numbers, I like to call it, because look at this Malphite damage, it's just ridiculous. He has been only engaged, in my opinion, in a 1v1 scenario for most of the time, and he's still the top damage dealer here, mostly to his constant trading with the Wukong, and Wukong being the lowest damage in the whole game, even Yumi out damaging him. That is pretty hilarious, in my opinion. But yeah, Yasuo as well, of course, doing their fair share of damage as well, and the Thresh out damaging the Trundle just shows you how much this Trundle has been playing support and going for those pillars, just being the Yasuo enabler, and the Thresh, of course, hitting those flays and those hooks over and over and over again to bring this victory to them, to this lineup. CE missed 26 minutes and 12 seconds exactly to overcome Imports in game number 2. Before Sherlock, I'll let you go on. I will point you towards our new feature here. You can now vote on our poll for the MVP of this game. So let me know who do you think was victorious, or was, sorry, not victorious, was the MVP of this game. You can vote by doing !vote and then a spacebar with either top, jungle, AD carry. You can just see it. Like, look at the Streamlabs message in Twitch chat and let me know who you're voting for. And approximately 2-3 minutes, we will be closing the vote, and then we getting your answer. Now, Sherlock, your time.
Okay, so about that MVP prize. The thing is that the support already shown a lot during the first game, and he just kept on delivering in the second game. So MVP of that series is definitely gonna be, for me at least, 2-meter 100 killer for his insane Thresh performance. Now, for MVP of that game, I would say that Yasuo has to win the prize here. He was the one to bring out the YouTube highlights, where when in a situation where his team was heavily needing AP damage, and he ended up winning that game so hard, 9-1 and 7. And the main interesting thing in this game is that we were looking in the draft at the Malphite-Yasuo interaction, but think about the game. When have you seen Malphite and Yasuo grouped at the same place? Never. Even when CE Mist was actually doing the Baron, Malphite was up in the top side killing the Wukong, so it's not even like that Yasuo was reliant on that setup. Now, he really made those plays with the pillar from Trundle, with the hooks from Thresh, and that's where I draw the line. I think that Yasuo had an insane performance right there, and he deserves to be under the spotlights, even though for me, the most valuable player of the series as a whole is that Thresh.
Well, looking at the polls and the votes coming through here, we do see the support from the blue side being voted the most so far, but it can still change. Still 50 seconds remaining, so let's get more votes in. I do appreciate you guys participating in chat. Very much appreciate all of you guys' support and all the followers coming through here. Let me look at who just followed. Somebody. Wait, where was it? I lost it. Thank you for following Akan. Crisis. What a name. Well, thank you for following anyways. Welcome to the CE family. And well, with that being said, boys, I do believe that we'll be calling for the end of our stream. So let's head over to our ending screen while we get the GG Easies in Twitch chat here. The BM is appreciated as well. I mean, friendly BM is always welcome. That's not an issue in-game, not so much, but in Twitch chat we don't mind. No interview. We will be doing interviews in playoffs. I've said this multiple times. I don't think doing a working week for me, nor for the casters, nor the players, it is any necessary to drag out those long streams that are already very long for a best of G. Please do not spam. Please spam. Well, let's complete our vote. And as you can see in chat, the support of the blue side was winning with 35% of the votes. So congratulations to Metra 100 Killer, the Thresh player in the second game and first game, having an incredible performance in this game number 2. And as you pointed out, Sherlock, in both games, in your opinion, as well as in mine, can only close up with your opinion there as well. With that being said, boys, thank you so much for watching. And Sherlock, any closing words for our C family there in Twitch chat?
Get good.
Get good indeed, because now one more time for all our OG fans out there, we have our most famous song here on Canadian Esports coming online. I hope you're ready to rave, and I hope you have your crabs ready, because it is time for the crab rave. Well, thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate all of your support, all of you guys following, and I hope to Bye, Magic. I hope to have enjoyed, to entertain you together with Sherlock here live on air on twitch.tv/Connecting Esports, Mixer, and YouTube Gaming. See you guys next time. And GG to CE Mist.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye bye.